The theme of International Women's Day this year is choose to challenge, but how exactly do you challenge? If someone's done something or said something that you've had an allergic reaction to, how do you challenge it appropriately? Because it's not always easy, is it? In those situations where you've gone into fight or flight, sometimes you might go into passive where you shut down altogether because you don't know how to respond, so you say nothing. Or you might go the complete opposite end of the extreme where you go into an aggressive response where you shout and scream and bang the table and lose all control, which isn't going to get you the result that you need. And so ultimately what you want is you want to challenge something. If you want to call something out, you have to do it from an assertive place. How do you do that? Well, I've developed the IDEA model, which is a simple 4-step model that gives you some guidance around how to respond. Firstly, I stands for immediacy. And so in that moment when you've been triggered and someone's done or said something and you want to respond, trust the reaction that you've had. Trust your gut instinct or your intuition, because it's telling you that you want to respond. And if you don't, if you just leave it, then ultimately a little bit of you dies inside. So trust that immediacy and step in and do something about it there and then. The D stands for direct, and this is about being direct with your challenge. And I really love the work from Kim Scott, which is around radical candor. And what she talks about is care personally, but challenge directly. And so therefore in that moment, you could say something like, I'd like to challenge what's just happened there, or I'd like to call out what was said. So you're owning it and you're directly going in and you're putting a stop, you're putting the brakes on what's happened. The E then stands for example, and so you then get really specific about what's just happened that you'd like to challenge, because often people have no idea that what they've done is not appropriate, and so it's important to help them understand that. And so you might say something like, I'd like to challenge that comment, and when you use that offensive language, or when you tell that sexist joke, or you give that inappropriate comment, it makes me feel really uncomfortable. And so you're owning your response and you're being assertive with it and you're being really specific. The A in IDEA stands for alternative, and so that's about giving them something that is specific about what you'd like them to do instead. And so that might come across like, from the top, I'd like to challenge that comment. When you talk like that and you use that language, I find it really offensive. Where I'd like to get to is for us all to find a way of communicating so that we all have our voices heard and we're all using language that is professional and appropriate to the setting that we're in. So the IDEA model can really help you. Use the immediacy, trust your instinct. If something's happened and you didn't like it, then react to that. Be direct, provide an example, and then provide a constructive alternative. I hope you found that useful. Happy International Women's Day, and enjoy the opportunity that you have to challenge.